An important message from Youth Fountain Laboratory, makers of VasoFlux and VasoFlux for Men. If you're over the age of 35 and over the years you've eaten pizza, dairy foods, deli meats, or meats with fat, you are likely to have some degree of plaque buildup in your veins and arteries. This increases your risk of suffering a stroke or heart attack exponentially, and no one wants such a catastrophic event to occur. Introducing Blackout. Blackout is made of all natural ingredients proven to help dissolve clots in the blood, remove calcium deposits and plaque from the walls of veins and arteries, improve viscosity of the blood, improve elasticity of the veins and arteries, treat varicose veins, and prevent the reoccurrence of plaque buildup. For more information, visit Youth Fountain Laboratory at youthfountainlab.com or call 1-800-853-7856. And remember, to help unclog veins and arteries, get the plaque out.
What y'all know about the only reason so much we about our M's at all costs. We know that the M is interchangeable. It's alive. Even before the homie passed, those that know that I was just unsettled with the M in Baymac just simply represent money, even though that is the original official meaning, because in this society it's still applicable that at all costs you need to be about yours. Not about all of it, about his, hers, theirs, but definitely about yours, because without it, there's not much you can do for yourself or anyone else. However, just on the level of depth and substance, because a lot of people, without thinking things through and being that analytical, will write it off in a lot more simple fashion. So I was looking to add substance to the M, and we were like experimenting with different M's, and I was always trying to freestyle throwing another M up in there, right? And then when the homie passed, of course, the marathon just made a lot of sense to rock with that heavy. But if you remember, one of the main ones prior to the marathon kind of getting us focused on that one, it was masculinity would be one of the most inserted ones that we would utilize. By way of nature, being designated the gatekeeper of establishing three young men as such on this planet, and them being in the age of adolescence at a time such as these issues being prevalent, you know, as a parent, you definitely have to pay attention to the trends, the things that are changing, the things that are going on. You know, the things they're teaching in school, you have to be up on it. The things that are currently floating through the media as acceptable content, you have to be aware when you have children, especially the things that affect each, you know, group of children. So I'm always tapped into certain and it's no mystery that gender and things of that nature occupy the headlines a lot. And now that I'm in the process of getting steady submissions of content, it is like one of the most headline topics these days. But I find it real odd. Just think how us, my people, melanated, find ourselves being victims of America if we look at the totality of our experience. And then enemies of, I don't know, currently or if it's historically all the time, or not just best friends. You know, words like communist and then China. And then we look at the way things are moving. And our government, I always often wonder what is the worldwide view on a lot of these subjects. But I find this extremely interesting. Check it out. China wants to teach masculinity after seeing stereotypical gender roles change. Political advisors claim country is going through masculinity crisis. China wants to teach masculinity. China wants to create masculinity courses for boys in response to changing gender roles. In January, China's education ministry published plans to cultivate masculinity in boys from kindergarten through high school. Do you know how I knew I wasn't crazy when I would just naturally assume that there needed to be an active effort to replenish and revive a natural sense of masculinity in society, because it's been thrown off balance. And then here it is, a country that is so far established as China as a world power. And this is what they're mentally thinking in general. The initiative involves hiring and training more gym teachers, testing students more comprehensively in physical education, making health education compulsory, and supporting research into issues like the influence of the phenomenon of internet celebrities on adolescent values, the ministry stated, according to NBC. But advocates in the country feel the move is working against equality and perpetuating gender stereotypes. Boys don't need masculinity education, said Lu Pian, the founder of China's largest feminist advocacy media channel, Feminist Voices. The concept of masculinity forces every man to be tough, which excludes and harms men with other types of characteristics. She said it also reinforces men's hegemony, 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 control, and position over women, which goes against gender equality. Chinese censors banned Feminist Voices back in 2018. They said to read the rest of the, you could go on the baller alert. But now, I don't know why the word equality is all an exclusive desire between genders. It's like, when you use that as an absolute equality between genders, you definitely are committing yourself to an imbalance in nature, because there are so many ways where that is just not naturally true. I mean, I think the law will forever lean in being toward a protecting a female from a physical attack of a male, just based on what natural dictates in our inequalities. And with just that being a fundamental understanding in society, that the law protects women from a physical attack, assault of a man in general, we should be able to peel back the concept of equality in an all-out inclusive perspective. Is not what you're speaking of when you say equality. Perhaps equality and opportunity is something that, is something that may be overall fair, but we are not equal as men and women. That is the whole concept and beauty of nature, of the opposites being able to come together, complement one another, and to be opposing opposites. You cannot be equal. You may be equal in relevance, but there are certain applications that typically certain genders are better suited for. And it seems like for some reason in our society, this is a war against this being true. I'm not sure what the approach is to be taken by those who don't necessarily agree with all the current declarations and things we see in the way things are being established. But I find it real interesting that China is bold enough to be going about it in the fashion that they are. I didn't think that was allowed in the common world. You would think from the way things are going in our country alone that, the whole world had a slightly different view. I'll be interested to hear what some of y'all thoughts. So I think I might as well turn to Lee 9, because that's deep. And then you see, I just think for those of us who are not real political, and then we see how we be on certain type of opposite issues with others, and then we not really tapped in, and so we naturally, just because we in here, we start to feel like, them or they wrong. But then we never really know what's really going on. We start figuring out what it do. Might do ourselves a favor, it might make sense to read between the lines.
We read between the lines. We read between the lines. We read between
On
the
the set,
lines.
could've swore I had covered my bases. Ended up in court, had to fight a couple of cases. Crackers don't care when you come in them places. It be written on their faces. Them motherfuckers is racist. Fuck trial, shit tricky, give me the deal. I ain't never seen a real killer beat a pill. Shooter got a brighter future if he got a date. Behind the gate, lot of politics to tolerate. Sitting in the car, finna split a cigar. To my niggas on the yard, send my biggest regards. You don't wanna run it back, we already ran it. You landed fat on his back, cause I'm heavy-handed. Wanna catch another fade, we can follow up. But I ain't waiting all day, niggas squabble up. Gang and angle, got it all bottled up. Gang bangers, whole world follow us. Evil times you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil times you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Niggas clowns need to be in the circus. Putting these buzzers on the turf, they defeating the purpose. The first to return when the enemy serves. Immediately on ease, these weenies be nerve dedicated to a section that didn't deserve us. It turned us into murderers and then the deserters. Number one lesson I learned in the pen: when you lose your respect, you can't earn it again. Smoke a lot, classified most faded. The local won't be satisfied till all his folks made it. This Cabbage Patch where he caught most of the damage at. Perhaps he know a magic plastic surgeon that can manage that. Ask me, I'm just a product of my habitat. Narcotic habits where they quick to let you have it at. Nigga homie talking about he need half that. I'm laughing at him as if my little bastard's having that. Evil times you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil times you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Read between the lines. Read between the lines. That's the Compton Courthouse. Little Cow Market.
Snakewood Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.